In this video, I am going to show you how we can configure EIGRP automatic summarization. By default, this feature is disabled, and here we have a simple scenario, R1 connected to R2. In R1 and R2, in both of them, I configured 4 loopback interfaces. Here you can see the addresses of these loopback interfaces in R1 and R2, and let me to show you the default status in the router 1, show IP. EIGRP neighbors can show us we have neighborship with router 2. Show IP protocols can show us that the EIGRP automatic summarization feature is disabled by default, and show IP route EIGRP can show us that we learn from the router to these 4 networks without any summarization. Also, in the router 2, show IP protocols can show us that the automatic summarization is disabled, and after that show IP route EIGRP, okay, it can show us that we learn these 4 network. Now let me to enable automatic summarization in the router 1. This is the configuration of the EIGRP in the router 1. Show running config section router EIGRP can show us this is the classic configuration of EIGRP in R1. Let me to enable auto summary. It is so easy. Router EIGRP1, the command is auto summary. That's it. Okay, and after that, let me to show you the effect of this command. First, show IP protocols can show us that now the automatic summarization is enabled. Because of that, instead of this 4 network, the R1 should advertise this classful network, because 172.16 is class B. Here we can see that 172.16.00/16 will be advertised over the serial 10, and other, for example, subnet will be suppressed. And the metric of this summary is the metric of the best of these 4, and because they have the same metric, here you can see the metric of one of them, for example. And after that, let me to show you the show IP route in the router 1. You know that when we configure summarization in EIGRP, we will have a summary discard route for that summary route inside the routing table, and the administrative distance of this summary is 5. Show IP route 172.16.00 then 255.255.00 can show us that the administrative distance of this path is 5. Also in the router 2, if you check again the show IP route EIGRP, you will see now here we have one summary route. Let me to enable the summarization or auto summarization in the router 2 because here I configured the named EIGRP. Let me to show you, do show run section router, for example EIGRP. As you can see, this is the configuration of EIGRP in this router EIGRP lab address family IPv4 unicast autonomous system 1. Under the topology base, you can enable automatic summarization. Router EIGRP then lab, and after that address family IPv4 unicast autonomous system 1. Under the topology base, let me to enable auto summary. That's it. Again, here we have similar conditions. Show IP protocols can show us that automatic summarization is enabled, and also show IP route can show us that here we have now a summary route for 172.17.00/16, exactly same for, with the in the router 1. And after that, here in the router 1, instead of this 4 network 172.17.00/24, 10/24, 20/24, and 30/24, we will have only one summary. Show IP route EIGRP 172.17.00/16. Okay, but you know that it is recommended to not enable EIGRP auto summary. Because of that, let me to disable this feature. Router EIGRP in router 1, no auto summary, and in the router 2, again configure terminal, router EIGRP lab, address family IPv4 unicast AS number 1, and then under the topology base, no auto summary. It is recommended to disable the EIGRP. Maybe in some older version of iOS you need to configure no auto summary command, but in newer versions, in recent version of iOS, you don't need to disable the automatic summarization because this is by default disabled.